All you're doing is finding greatest common factor and simplifying, and you can check your work if you have time. So now we need to go on to equations, linear equations that we can solve for our variables. So you need to read page 437 to 441, and I want you to try problems 2 and 5. All right, so let's go over our problems on linear equations. Basically what we're going to be doing is solving for our variable and actually getting a value for that. So the way that we do that is this. You want to isolate your variable. I always do it on the left side. Just always keep that in mind and keep your variable to the left side and your whole numbers to the right side. So what we're going to try to do is isolate our z to one side of the equation. First, we're going to simplify this side of the equation. We have 7z plus 1 minus z. Again, bases. We have a z here and a z here. So 7 minus 1 would be 6z. We have plus 1 still equals 2z minus 7. Okay, so now we're going to take our variable and bring it to the left side. If we're taking it from one side of the equation to the other, we're going to subtract, or we're going to do the opposite of what the sign is here. So we're adding it here. To bring it over here, we're going to subtract it. So you subtract 2z from both sides of the equation. Okay, here it cancels out. Here we get 6z minus a 2z, which is 4z. Okay, and then we have plus 1 equals minus 7. Now we still have a whole number on the left side, and we need to get it to the right. So what we're going to do is it's adding a 1 on the left side. To get it to the right side, we're going to have to add it. We're going to have to subtract it. So you subtract 1 from this side and subtract 1 from this side. So you're canceled out here, and you're left with 4z equals negative 7, and a negative 1 equals a negative 8. Okay, so now we need to get z by itself. We still have 4 in front of the z, but we want to solve for z. So here we're multiplying a 4 times a z. To move it to the other side of the equation, we have to do the opposite. So we'll divide. So divide this side by 4 and divide this side by 4. Here your 4's cancel out, isolating your z. So you have z equals a negative 8 divided by 4, which is negative 2. Now we have a value for z. If we look at the problem, it's selection A. Now what this does for you, especially in a word problem, you can plug your negative 2 back into the equation and get your answer. Okay, so let's move on to number 5 and see if we can use the same applications and solve this one as well. Number 5, we have 4 times 3x plus 2 in parentheses minus 11 equals 3 times of 3x minus 2. Okay? Again, we're going to try to get our variable and get it to the left side and our whole numbers to the right. So the first thing we have to do is our operations. Here we're going to have to multiply through. So you have a 4 needing to be distributed through this parentheses. So 4 times 3 is 12. Well, that's a 3x, so it's 12x. And then 4 times a positive 2, which is 8. Now we got rid of the parentheses, so we can just write down our negative 11 equals, let's distribute here. We have 3 times a 3x, which is a 9x. 3 times a negative 2, which is a negative 6. So now we have a problem that kind of looked like the last one that we did. So the main thing is to get our like terms together. So we have 12x on this side, but there's no other x's on this side. But we have a positive 8 and a negative 11. So you have 12x, a negative 11 from a positive 8 is a negative 3. Okay, and that equals 9x minus 6. Okay, to isolate our x on this side, we're going to have to bring our 9x to the left. It's a positive 9x, so we're going to subtract 9 from both sides of the equation. Okay, this one cancels out. This one we have 3x minus 3 equals a negative 6. We still have our whole number on the left side and we need to get it to the right. Since it's subtracted on this side, we're going to add 3 to both sides of the equation and simplify. Here it cancels it out, so you have 3x equals a negative 6 and a positive 3 makes a negative 3. So now we're almost done. We still need to isolate our x, and we have 3 times an x. So to cancel it out, we need to divide both sides by 3. And now we have x, which equals a negative 3 divided by 3 is simply a negative 1. Negative 1 is your answer, which is selection B. Not too bad. Just remember when you're switching sides of the equation, you change the operation. If it's adding, you subtract from both sides. If you're multiplying, you divide by both sides. So now, section 4 is inequalities. We're going to go over that